Hey everyone, we're the hosts. My name's MJ.
My name is Ada.
And we're going to be answering the question, is it good to be different? So everyone, we've talked about plenty of times in our past videos how in North America, your teachers, TV shows, your parents, you know, babysitters, like all the adults are always teaching children to like be outgoing. It's okay to be different.
Yeah.
We're in this melting pot together. So many different types of ethnicities and backgrounds and, you know, cultures living in this one place. So it's good. It's okay to be different because I feel like in the past it was like, you know, people might have some self-doubt almost.
Yeah.
Just self-conscious about being different if they were from another country. Oh, my mom doesn't speak any English because she's from this country. So I don't want to have, you know, feel like I'm different from each other. So I feel like that's one big reason why maybe in my area where this idea of being different is okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're all different. It's good to be different.
True,
mentality was pushed a lot.
Yeah, it's the same for me as well. Like it's just the fact of, I think, living in North America where, of course, like being different is okay and it's good to be different. But the major thing is that everybody is already different, like from the beginning, because most people are from a different country or from a different background or have like family relatives that are from different countries or different backgrounds. So that's the first step, like to accept another person. It's just realize that everybody's different.
Ooh, first step. Oh man, to accept people. That's another thing that's so good. Open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Well-rounded thinking. Accept people, everyone, because we're all the same.
Right.
So we're all the same, but we're all different. Oh, that's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, it's weird.
So let's go into like being different in North America. Is it a good or a bad thing, generally speaking? What do you think?
Generally speaking, I think it's a good thing. And a lot of the times you'll hear like, if everybody's the same, life would be boring or life would be not interesting. So being different is like the spice of life.
It just shows individuality within each person.
Right.
Because we are all the same, yes, but of course different. We have our own way of thinking. We have our own backgrounds that can influence the way we think about different topics, the way that we're brought up and stuff. So even in schools, there's almost like categories of different types of students in a weird way.
Yeah.
Example, in my schools, I remember from middle school and high school, all of our classes were broken into like 3 categories almost. For math class, there was the normal math class level.
Okay.
Of how much you know and how quickly it would move. And there was the high end where kids were very smart.
Right.
So their math problems that they got were more difficult. And then there was the lower, a little more, you know, toned down.
Right. Yeah.
Taking it easy. So the students who had more of a difficult time could still follow along and keep up with the curriculum of the year, whatever grade they were in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that way, you know, we were different, but this sense of telling people like, it's okay to be different, it's okay to be different, I think like helps, because me, like I was in that low end, man, for like most of the classes. So it like helped me like think about like, it's okay that like, I don't mind that I'm in this lower class if I have other friends that are in the higher one or the normal one.
Right.
Because I'm like, hey, it's fine to be different.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing the work and graduating this grade.
Totally.
So
yeah.
We're good.
And of course, like if you're all in the same position and you're seeing people do better or do worse than you, you lose interest easily if you're like on the lower end or if you're on the higher end and the level is not interesting for you. So by having this separation and by understanding that everybody's different, everybody learns at a different level or pace, then you get students who feel happy to be able to learn at their own pace and understand things, you know, and not feel bad about not understanding something as well, or not feel bad about wanting to do more and not being able to as well, you know? Yeah. So it's great, I think.
Yeah. And another thing that, you know, we really embrace being different is just with our clothes when we are going to school and we're children, you know, looking at Japan, majority of schools are, you have to wear a uniform
Right, yeah.
to go to school.
Yeah.
That shows unity. But in North America, it's like, no, be free, everyone.
Yeah.
Free range. And so it's like you can kind of like figure out who you are. And I've heard in the past from other people in Japan speaking about uniforms, how it's like, oh, it's so cool because you don't have to worry about what you're wearing. Everyone's wearing the same thing.
Right, yeah.
And there's a sense of me that's mostly like, aren't you just being lazy?
Well, I'm on the other side of the fence of that, because in high school, and I think you too, in high school we wore uniforms. Of course, in middle school.
Me, it was grade school.
Or it was grade school.
I had a little stint in grade school where I did.
So I feel like even with the uniforms, we're still, for us, we were still able to express ourselves in different ways. Like there's, of course, we have to wear the uniform, but even in the way we wear it or how we accessorize ourselves, there was little restrictions on that. So there were people who liked like punk music or like, heavy metal, or people who like hip hop music, people who liked pop music, and the way they express themselves with accessories or wearing nail polish or hairstyles, or just jewelry, it was accepted by the teachers. As long as it didn't cause problems, like as long as people weren't saying like, I'm getting bullied because I don't have jewelry, or because I do have jewelry, or somebody stole my jewelry. As long as there's no problems like that, then it was fine. It's like, okay, this person's into this kind of thing. Expression.
So let's look at the other side of it, and what's bad about being different in North America?
I think the bad thing about being different is that some people want you to be the same, and that can lead to bullying. For example, for me, right?
Yeah.
I am a person of color, but so I felt that the people who looked like me were into hip hop, and they were into like reggae and stuff like that. Whereas I went to a different school and there was less people who looked like me. So I was trying to fit in, and I enjoyed listening to alternative rock music, a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of dance music, a little bit of everything, jazz music, whatever. But when I went and interacted with those people, like they were different from me and I was different from them, but we were the same. So I felt like I couldn't communicate. But also that difference where we are the same human beings, and we look the same, but we're different. I felt like an outsider for the whole time.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
were you like taken down? Did you feel bad about that, or did you embrace it as like?
I didn't embrace it at first because at that time it was not good to not be the same as your like
peers. You wanted to fit in.
I wanted to fit in, but even on their side, I didn't speak like them. I didn't listen to the same music as them. I didn't dress like them. So I was looked at as kind of the outsider. So with that comes the bullying and the feeling of doubt, self-doubt, and like lower self-worth, self-consciousness. Like all of that was low until I met people who were like me and were the same, but we're individuals who are different. Does that make sense?
Yes. You connected on the hobby level.
On the hobby.
Instead of the
physical
ethnicity background.
Yeah. So there's that, where if you're not the same as a person and you're different from a person, you're not accepted by the person. Or if you're just a little bit different, like maybe you have a learning disability, some people might look down on you or not understand your position and bully you for that as well. And that's another point of being different that is not good, or being the same is not, It's hard to explain, but it can be hard on the person who feels like they're different.
Right. I think like everyone who is a youth understands this to some degree.
Right.
Everyone who's growing up trying to find themselves and their style goes through this kind of self-doubt of like, or where should I fit in? For me, of course, like when you're growing up in schools, yeah, we're taught to be, it's okay to be different. It's good to be different, do your own thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like humans are like, we're a community, we're pack animals.
Right.
So we want to hang out with other people that have the same similarities. We want to hang out with friends who can give us support and encouragement. So usually you find that by sticking with people who have the similar hobbies, or like friends that you knew from the past, or some sort of connection there. So in every high school, every kind of school, you know, kids are vicious, but everyone had like a clique, we say. So there's these groups within the school. So yes, we all understand we're all different, but at the same time, you still belong somewhere. Like in my school, like we had the preppy jocks, like the kind of good students who would, you know, go to classes. Maybe they do some bad stuff on the weekends or something, but they're very active in sports and whatnot. There was the hip hop group, like where there's like a full section of just many different types of, from like African American, Latinos in there as well. And then there's like, you know, the skaters, the bad kids, like punks. But then, you know, there's the nerds too, of course. So there's so many different genres of people within high school as we're growing up. So you got to like find where you fit in.
Right. And for someone like me,
so you can get that like acceptance.
Where you like fit in many groups because you are skateboarding and you do like hip hop and you do like pop music. You know, you just want to make friends with everybody and you want to hang out with everybody. Right. It might be difficult to find like that one group without feeling like an outsider, you know? Right.
And then it's just like up to the person's mentality to like, if you can continue on with that, if you can accept that, or if you want to find yourself being more accepted, or you find it's like totally fine that you dabble here and there, and you accept being the outsider because you embrace the difference over the similarity and being together, because you just connect.
And then one last point I want to talk or just mention is like when I was in Japan, I had friends who were dancers, and this was in university. So they danced in university, but after graduation, they kind of just threw away the dance and became like regular salarymen or working people. And I always wondered, why is that? Is it just to fit in with that life, like salaryman life, that they give up something they seem so passionate about because they don't want anybody to know they're dancers, or why is there the one way or the other? Some people who were dancers said they didn't want to be salarymen, so they're just going to be dancers. Why can't you be both?
Dude, it's that pressure of society you know? That tells you when you are this age, you go to school. When you finish this, you go to university. You go to university to get a job. So when you finish that, you got to focus on your job. And or like the other aspect of like when you do university, like pretty much majority in Japan, everyone does some sort of activity, club, sports. So that could be an issue, or not an issue, but that could have been something that maybe your friends from your university that you saw were dancers. That's like, okay, that's when I'm in a university. I do this club where now I graduated.
And that's it.
Mentally maybe, or graduated from this dance circle, and now it's time to move on to the next step. But if it's following their heart or not, that's the kicker, where in the future, they're going to maybe be looking back and be like, man, I wish I still kept up with that dance or that hobby that I loved. Don't worry, everybody. But again, you know, there's plenty of groups in Japan, even though maybe it sounds like we're saying like Japan is all like one kind of person. There, you know, just like the US, there are people who reach out, who try to find their individuality in different places. And that's, again, what, you know, when you look at the whole spectrum of people, I feel like that's when it's like cool, because you can embrace and enjoy and experience all these different flavors
of life, the salt and peppers of life.
Let us know in the comments what you think about this topic, everyone. Do you think it's good to be different? Do you want to be different? Are you holding back for some reason? Let us know. Like the video and subscribe to the channel.
But that's it. We'll see you
on the next step.